what would be the best method to repair your credit?
The best one, I can't really honestly say, man. I'm not trying to be liberal with the answer, but like I got people that literally get results from Metro too. You know, some people don't know how to factually dispute, you know, but in CreditFixrr, the software helps you understand how to do that. Like I got over 150 factual dispute reasons that you can select from, just a drop down, right? With the laws, with the consumer laws in there, right? I also got a violations report. So when you import your credit report, if you don't know how to read a credit report, CreditFixrr will analyze your credit report and find all the violations that's being reported. Because what happens is these credit reporting agencies have to report in a certain way or manner, compliantly. That's where you get Metro 2 compliance from, right? So so they have to report your information 100% accurately, fairly, and complete. Right? That's literally what the FCRA states. And so my software, I analyze your credit report and find out where it's incompleteness, where it's inaccurate, and then you just, you know, point them out.
Describe myself in 2 words, rich and unemployed. These stones cost 2 birds. Let it count it when she bored. Deposit hit, checks clearing, ayy, nothing void. I know that ain't my ex calling, null and void. Where we going? Money going up.
Welcome to the Rich and Unemployed podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Dupton, aka Finesse. Before we get started, make sure you guys check out the Patreon for the exclusive content. Make sure you guys check out the website for the merch, www.richunemployed.net. And man, I got a very, very special guest here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Man, first of all, it's an honor to be on your podcast, my brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Man, I'm Khabir Muhammad. I'm the creator and founder of CreditFixrr, the CreditFixrr software. That's CreditFixrr.com. So y'all check me out, man. Man, the software is designed to empower consumers with the knowledge, tools, and resources to fix your own credit.
Got you. Okay. Now you have your own software. How the hell you do that? Like, where'd that start from? Were you fixing credit before that or what?
Yeah. So I definitely was fixing credit, you know, for myself. You know, it stemmed from me, you know, running into, you know, the same old shit that everybody kind of go through. You pay somebody, they don't fix your credit. And so I was a software engineer. And once I learned how to fix my own credit, I kind of figured out that it wasn't that hard. You know, if I could do it, you know, I can, you know, I know somebody else can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So what I did was, you know, I took my software development skills and merged it with the credit repair, you know, knowledge, and then created the software.
What method did you use to fix your credit?
Back then it was like factual disputing.
Sending off letters?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now with your software, what method do you use?
Man, I got all of them. You know, I got consumer law, I got Metro 2, I got factual disputing. But the foundation of the software is factual disputing mixed with consumer law. How do you? Okay, let's break this down. Your software. Let's just say someone went to, they buy your software. Yeah. Is it like an app like that you put on your computer, on your phone, what? Or just? So currently it's not a mobile app. That's next year. We're working on that. But
website.
It's a web application. Not a website, web application.
Web application. What is the difference?
So a website is just basically like a landing page. You got a couple of different pages, but a web application actually has a back end to it. Right. It has, you know, has a database, it has a server side, you know, aspect to it.
But it's still www.
Right.
Same shit. Okay, same setup. Okay, when somebody goes on the web, what is it? Web
CreditFixrr.
No, not website, but web. What's the name you just gave it? It's not a website.
Web application.
Web application. When somebody go on the web application, www.what?
CreditFixrr.com.
CreditFixrr.com. Now, when they go on this website, they basically purchase it or sign up.
So we have monthly subscriptions and annual subscriptions.
Okay. I choose a monthly subscription. Now, once I subscribe, basically I get access to any form of credit fixing?
Correct. So the way it works is once you sign up, you can sign up for free. I got a 7-day trial. You can try it out. But you get limited access to certain things once you sign up. But when you purchase the software, whether monthly or annually, once you sign up, you import your credit report, input your personal information. You never have to input it again. It's going to automatically be imported into every dispute letter that you generate. So what I did was I have dispute letters, but also have dispute flows. So I have like a check system dispute flow. I have a bankruptcy dispute flow. I have a late payment dispute flow, inquiry dispute flow, right? So even if you didn't know how to dispute or send out letters or anything like that, you just follow the flow.
Got you. Made simple for anybody.
Made simple. I got video tutorials for almost every letter that's in there. So it basically explains it to you. You know, it lets you know like why you're sending out this letter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say, so all of it is letter-based. Do you have to send out the letters yourself, or do you just, it's like an AI type of situation where it mails the letter off for you, do everything for you? You just put your information in, put your credit score in, and kind of...
Almost everything, you feel me? Like, I don't want to take you out of the picture, right? Yeah. It's very, very simple to use the software. I got options. So you can download it and take it to your local post office and mail it out. You can send it certified mail through CreditFixrr mailer. I got my own mailing service inside the system. Wow. You can fax it. On the business side, we ain't talk about business yet, but you can send via email to your clients. And they can mail it out, but we can talk about that another time. But yeah, man, I got options in there.
Okay, let's talk about consumer law for something, because consumer law is a little complicated.
Very.
It's not for the average person that wanted to fix the credit.
Not at all.
So let's say I wanted to use consumer law. Like, how is that process? Do I got to like study, or because that's a lot? You got to know the law if you're using consumer law. Like, so how does that work?
Yeah. So what I did was I kind of merged the laws into the letters. So what I did was I through my experience and people that I know in the space, you know, that are how would you say, gurus as far as credit repair. You know, it's not like a unique type of way to dispute. You just need to point out the errors and let them know that you know that they are, you know, that these are errors. See, most of the time people have no clue, like, hey, I'm being violated here. Like, this is not supposed to be reported this way or in this manner. So I have the consumer laws in there to actually point those things out. Like for late payment, 1666, 15 USC 1666B. That's for late payments. You know, there's a whole bunch of laws in there that I don't know all off the top of my head, but yeah.
In your opinion, what would be the best method to repair your credit? The best, the fastest, which one?
That's a controversial question, because, you know, some people will argue consumer law, some people argue Metro too. I
always meet the people that like do consumer law and they be like, Metro 2 some bullshit. Or I meet people that do other methods like, nah, bro, that's some bullshit, man. Metro 2 or consumer law, nah. So they all effective.
Yeah. They are all effective. You just need to learn or know how to leverage them and use them properly. And that's why I have all of them in my software. I didn't just go with consumer law. I didn't just go with factual disputing. Some people do that, but with CreditFixrr, I give you all the tools. It's like a toolbox. Like, you can use it if you want to, or you can use the Metro 2 dispute flows, right? So you can mix them up if you want to. I mean, I don't necessarily recommend that, but
right.
The best one, I can't really honestly say, man. I'm not trying to be liberal with the answer, but like, I got people that literally get results from Metro 2. You know, some people don't know how to factually dispute, you know, but in CreditFixrr, the software helps you understand how to do that. Like, I got over 150 factual dispute reasons that you can select from, just a drop down, right? With the laws, with the consumer laws in there, right? I also got a violations report. So when you import your credit report, if you don't know how to read a credit report, CreditFixrr will analyze your credit report and find all the violations that's being reported. Because what happens is these credit reporting agencies have to report in a certain way or manner. compliantly. That's where you get Metro 2 compliance from, right? So so they have to report your information 100% accurately, fairly, and complete, right? That's literally what the FCRA states. And so my software, I analyze your credit report and find out where it's incompleteness, where it's inaccurate, and then you just, point them out.
Gotcha. Now let's talk about like the process of you building out this. Well, first, who is this for? Is this for like the average consumer, or is it someone that's trying to start a credit repair business? A business? Who is this for?
It's both, actually. I started out, so the foundation of CreditFixrr is for the consumer. Like I could have went the route like these other softwares where they focus solely on B2B. That's like the credit repair companies and CROs and stuff like that. But I actually do have that aspect in there. I got CreditFixrr Business in the software, right? But the foundation of it is for the everyday consumer. That's who I'm trying to empower. Like I'm trying to affect 1 billion lives, 1 million lives. I can say billion because this ain't just a national thing. I'm going to Canada.
Yeah.
I was in Kenya and they got credit out there.
Kenya?
Yes. So I'm going there.
I didn't think they had credit in Africa. Is that like the first country or something?
Nah, man, listen, they got credit almost everywhere.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But a lot of these, like I was in a coffee shop in Africa coding. This was back in 2019. I'm coding. He's like, what are you doing? I showed him my software. He was like, yo, we have credit out here. Can I use your software to fix my credit?
Yeah.
And I was like, at the time, I'm like, I don't know if Equifax or whatever service uses or maintains your system.
That's what I was going to ask.
Y'all reports.
I'm pretty sure they got like a different system out there, So like, did you send it to him? Did you help? I mean, did he use your?
Nah, he ain't use it. Nah, because I mean, honestly, I don't know what he's doing. Right. I don't know that country's way of reporting and stuff like that. So,
but you about to learn.
Yeah, eventually. Sure. But Canada is next. Canada right now, only have TransUnion and Experian, I think, if I remember correctly. So, man, I'm about to fly down there to Canada and see what's good.
I would too.
On me.
So, like, take me through the process of making this platform, because this ain't no easy task.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? So, like, first, like, what motivated it, and then, like, take me through the steps of, like, because I couldn't do this. I ain't gonna say I can't. Yeah. But it'll take me a long time. But
yeah, damn. You want all right.
And when did you start this?
I started building this back in 2017.
2017. Okay.
That's when I started. That's what.
And when did it launch?
It launched August of 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
See, listen, that's 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Some people would have gave up, like, hey, if it don't happen for you now, some people like, man, fuck it. 4 years, that's a hell of a grind.
No, facts.
So what was like the first step of the process?
First step was, honestly, it was me just I was fixing my own credit and I got tired of using Word documents. And so I was like copying and pasting my name in all these different Word documents because I had got templates, right? And I was like, okay. And I was doing that, so I was like, you know what? It's something in software engineering called dry. Don't repeat yourself. And so knowing that, I'm like, you know what, let me just create this PDF generator to where I can just input my name and input the accounts that I want, right? And I just built that, and I was just cool with that. I was pushing out dispute letters for my family. Yeah, and so I started there. That was like the first step. And then I started, like, once I figured out I could do this, like I'm getting results for myself and my family, I'm like, all right, let me start a credit repair company. And then, so I started looking at other softwares. I was like, dude, they got softwares out there. And I found them, and I was like, all right, again, dry, don't repeat yourself. They already got it.
Was it the CRC? I don't want to say.
Nah, it was, damn, what's his name? I ain't even finna plug them. Nah,
yeah,
I ain't plugging none of them.
Abbreviation, like,
I got the best software.
Facts.
Come on. Yeah.
We keep going.
Yeah. So I used this software and it was slow. It was really slow. And being a software engineer, I didn't like how it was functioning. It was just too much on the screen and just too many buttons everywhere. So I'm like, this is not user friendly. So I stopped using the software and then I started building on CreditFixrr again. I was like, let me make this a whole CRM because honestly, what I did, I wasn't supposed to do. Like it takes probably a 15-man team to actually do what I actually did. So, thank God put it on my spirit to kind of take this idea and actually, concretize it and make it something physical, right? Because it was a lot of nights I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, damn, how do I do this? How do I, connect it to this API or this API? How am I gonna pull all these credit reports in? That's when I learned that they had credit monitoring services. Because I thought I had to go directly to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax individually. And that's a whole nother different thing that you would have to do. So I tried to go that route. Luckily, I found credit monitoring services like Identity IQ, Smart Credit. Yeah, and so I was like, oh yeah, that made it easier. So I got those in there. I started there. And then I just slowly came up with the ideas like, what do people need? Like, if I'm a user, I started thinking about the people. Like, what would make this process easy for people? Because people fixing their credit is a really hard problem to solve. It's very difficult to solve that problem because people will give up really quickly. And so I'm thinking of taking away as much difficulty as possible, but not handicap you. Right. I'm really trying to empower you so that you know what to do, so that you can go do the same thing that I did. So, man, I just slowly built it over the years, man. I was just up late at night. I would get off work because I was working for a private company at the time. And I would get off work at 5 p.m., get home around 6:30, chill with my family around 9 p.m. to 2, 3 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m. I'm coding. I'm up listening to Nip, getting to it. You watch my stories, you will see I really was coding this. You can see the code. You watch my stories on IG, I was really up doing it, listening to music, just getting it going. But Nip was a very big inspiration to me, we from the same area in California. Man, I just kept building, man. And one of the things that I do want to say is that the reason why I didn't go hire those 15 different people, one, because I didn't have the money to do it, right? But two, I wanted to show people that look like me that you could build something from an idea and you can build it to the degree of Google and Facebook and all these big companies, corporations. So I want to show people yo, you could do this shit. Stop being afraid. Fear is going to be there, but whenever you succumb to fear, that's it. It's okay to fear, but not challenging your fear. Because trust me, I was afraid. Man, it was damn, I don't know how I'm going to do this shit.
The future is very scary. The unknown, thinking about okay, you have an idea in your head and it's just an idea, but now you got to put the steps towards to make it come to life. Yeah. And some people, this, for example, I wanted to do a podcast and didn't know what type of podcast I wanted, didn't know where it was going to take me, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? I started just working on it, and you walk in these motherfuckers damn.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't start off like this. You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking of now I'm thinking on the level of MTV, having my own network, BET or something like that. So it's just an idea. You just never know how far. You just got to take them steps. But the grind is real though. I salute it. So how did you feel though when it finally just completed?
Man, I cried during the process, and I cried. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. It was some tears shed throughout this whole process, but it dawned on me a couple months ago, man. I really had to give myself a pat on the back, damn, dog, you did this shit. You really did this shit without a lot of help. You didn't get I funded out my own pocket, bro. I went into debt doing this, and it reminded me of the dude that built Calendly. Dude took out a second mortgage and went into debt, took out loans. And now he sold that for $2.something billion. That's what I'm on with this software.
So look, we had a conversation on the phone. You was like, somebody offered you in the beginning stages, right? Let me get this right. I think it
50 million.
50 M's.
Yeah.
And you declined.
I declined. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So it's funny I bring up Calendly. So this was last year. Yeah, it was last year, 2002. I had moved to Atlanta, back to Atlanta, and my boy from Tuskegee, shout out my dog Henry. He was going to grad school, and they school had like a room inside of Atlanta Tech Village. And so he was like, "Hey, dog, I think this would be a good spot for you to come to. It's a lot of tech companies in here." So I go and I interview for it, right? And they love it. They actually told me, they was like, "Bro, you really like past the MVP stage. Like you really got something here." And so as I'm talking to different like investors, because there's investors in there, it's like an incubator, right? So they did allow me to join the Atlanta Tech Village. And so I sit down with one investor, and he was like, "Man, you really got something. I think this is very big." And he was like, "How much you want for it?" He was like, I was like, "I mean, I don't know. I mean, I already knew my number." He was like, he said, "How?
What was your number?"
7.8 billion.
Keep going.
Yeah. So he was like, "Man, I would like to buy it from you." And I was like, "Okay, what's your offer?" He said, 50 million. I was like, "Nah." He said, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "How much would you sell it for?" I said, $7.8 billion if I was to sell it. He said, "Where the fuck you get that number from?"
Nigga, hey, you better than me, bro. You said 50 what? 50. But nah, this your baby though. Like you didn't blood, sweat, and tears. So I get it. Like that. Your number is your number. Your price is your price. So hey man, pay me. So go ahead.
Credit Karma sold theirs for $7.6 billion. And Credit Karma ain't doing half of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And what I'm about to do. Like, see, this not just a credit repair software. That's just the foundation. See, the software was built with like real true love, man, for people and empowering people.
Yeah.
And I'm connecting, businesses with this software. I don't even really want to go into too much because this is a big ass podcast, and I know, but it don't even matter. I'm gonna talk about some of it, man. Because it's in the works anyways, but, being able to connect with, BMW realtors, people like sort of like a LinkedIn type of deal. Yeah. Yeah, to where they can connect with you can connect with them. And, that has always, from the inception of me building the software, those thoughts went into place. And so because I was like a senior software engineer, I architect software for companies and stuff. I thought about these things beforehand because when it comes to software, how you architect the thing determines what you can build on top of it, right? And so I looked at some of these software. I was like, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that. Okay, cool. It's a cap for them. They don't know it yet, but I do.
Why not take the 50M and run? Why not take the 50 mil and I don't know, start something else. Like it's
yeah.
Why wait? Who knows how long the 7.8 gonna take?
Yeah.
Why not take the 50 mil now and just go do something else instead of waiting? And it might not ever come. The 7.8 might not ever come. But the 50 mil is right here in your face guarantee. Why not take the deal right when it's in front of you?
I'm willing to take that chance. I'm really willing to take that time. It took Credit Karma 12 years to get to that.
Damn.
7.8 billion. But they was making bread, throughout the process. They was connected with, different credit cards and stuff. And mind you, like I'm doing the same thing. Right, so I'm gonna make my bread along the way also. But, for me it truly wasn't about the money for me. I actually really enjoy what I'm doing. Like that's what kept me up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., knowing I gotta go to work the next morning. I enjoy doing this because it ain't about the money for me. Anybody that know me, that really know me, they like, it ain't about the money. Like, I love empowering people. I really want to leverage this as a way to show people, like, you really got this shit. You really could do this. And anything that you want to do, and this was this was a test for me. Like I said, I shed tears throughout this process. I had fear. I didn't know what I was going to do sometimes. But every time you see, like I found a way. And it's like now, like I have no fear. I have no, and you gonna get to this point too. I have no like inkling of something that I can't put in the software. Let's say that if I want to put something in there, I know I can put it in there.
Yeah.
Like that's a great feeling to have, you know? And that's what I want other people to feel like me. Like I feel like I'm a god, like Kanye said. I'm a god, dog. You feel me? Like I can put whatever. I'm the most innovative software in the game. I got ChatGPT in there. Nobody's have ever done that. Like I put ChatGPT in there. And that was one of my throwaway moves. Cause like I said, like I could do this. Like, man,
you speak very, very passionate about this. I could tell, like, bro, blood, sweat, and tears went to this. Yeah. And you really, really believe in it. Well, I mean, you also have an example too, you know, Credit Karma. You know what I mean? Like, if Credit Karma wasn't there to show you, like, it was possible, like, yo, we did this, so, and you got the same type of system, you know it's possible. Yeah. But you speak with, like, conviction. Yeah. Speaking on God's, you have this tattoo, right? What does that mean?
Oh, star and a crescent.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means freedom, justice, and equality.
What is that a religion? Is that based off of religion?
Yeah. So I'm born into the Nation of Islam, and you know, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been a huge, you know, factor in my life and me, you know, even being the way that I am, you know, caring for people and just, you know, belief. You know, even just, you know, knowing that, you know, I'm a God when you could be a God in anything that you do. You know, not just me, but all of us. Not that we are the God, the definite article of God, but we are little gods. Like we have the ability to actually create. God gave us that power to do that. We can take an idea, something that's already real, and concretize it and bring it into, you know, reality, like this watch. Somebody had an idea and created a watch. Somebody created the mechanism in. It all started from an idea, this mic. You know? Look at you, man. You didn't create like
it's crazy.
This from your mind. And you put it together. You know? So, what was the question? Kind of got.
I mean, you were saying it. No, we are creators, though. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Like we are gods. Not the God, but we are gods. God put us here on this planet to create. Like basically just gave us free land. And I think about it like, yo, how the hell did we even create all this stuff? How did we figure out like all these herbs and, you know what I'm saying, botany and, you know what I'm saying? How did we create, how we even thought of buildings? And it get real technical when you think about it. But I want to ask you this about the Quran. Like, you know, have you read the Bible? Or the Bible and the Quran, does the Quran start off how the Bible start off, like how God created the world and, you know, on the seventh day it is? And
Yeah. So the Quran came after the Bible, right? And so the Quran verifies the Bible.
Verifies the Bible.
Yeah.
In what way? Say that.
So, you know, so you got all these prophets. All of these prophets came with messages. You know, they say that Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet, you know, of God. You know, because you didn't need to prophesy about nothing else. You didn't need no more prophets. You know, Jesus talked about God coming after him, right? So, you know, growing up, my grandmother was the lead choir singer at her church. My grandfather was a deacon. And so I would go to the mosque and I would go to the church. Yeah, so, you know, I always read the Bible, I always read the Quran. And so, you know, I'm glad we're having this conversation, man. I love having these conversations because it's really intriguing to me. Yeah, so, you know, just growing up, having those two understandings, man, of the Bible and the Quran, they verify each other. You know, a lot of things that, like in the Quran, we got a whole chapter on Mary.
Mary, the
mother of Jesus. It's called Maryam in Arabic.
Is it the same story?
No, it talks about the woman. So in the Quran, she is the epitome of womanhood. So that whole chapter is about women and just the mother of Jesus. That's the woman that birthed, you know, Jesus. And Jesus is talked about till this day. You know, a whole religion, you know, surrounding him. right? Not that he told you to believe in him. He said, he said, follow me in the worship of God. He never said that he was God, but he said, but technically, when you saw him, you see God, because he didn't do his will. He did God's will. That's why he was able to say, when you see me, you see the Father, because not my will be done, but thy will be done. Not meaning he had a will, but he suppressed his own will to do God's will. So when you saw him, you saw God, because he wasn't doing his will. And so he was a perfect example of us, human beings, to realign us back into our nature, which is God.
Why do you think people pray to Jesus? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's technically, I feel like it's out of order, because Jesus never actually told you to pray to him. You know, and Jesus prayed himself as well. You know, so he wasn't praying to himself. That's kind of a little arrogant, but, you know, he never prayed to himself. He prayed to God as well, you know. And, I mean, I really don't feel no type of way. That's people's understanding of what they believe, right? But, you know, I believe that, you know, Jesus taught us to follow him in the worship of God and pray to God, the Father, you know, as he called him.
What made you choose the nation over Christianity? If you grew up on both, what made you go that way?
Yeah, so the truth will defend itself. You know, you could put a clean glass next to a dirty glass. You gonna choose, right? And so with the teachings, you know, under the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, you know, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and through the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, it just made so much sense to me, man. I remember, like, you know, I'm from Compton. We would drive to Moreno Valley to my cousin's house and stuff. So that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And I couldn't go to sleep, man. I would just hear the minister talking. Like, my dad be looking in the rearview mirror like, he said, you still up? All my brothers and sisters knocked out. There's 8 of us, right? I'm the only one up rolling, just hearing the minister just talk. And, you know, I mean, man, I love you, brother minister. You know, he's what, 90 years old now? Yeah, and he's still teaching, man. He's still on his mission, still on his job. But
this is Muhammad.
No, Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan.
Farrakhan is 90 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Okay. All right.
Nah, he doing this thing.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when he was like sick at a point. He was like, "Man, they trying to kill me."
They did. They put a whole lot of radiated seeds in his body.
How they do that?
So he actually went into surgery because he had cancer. And so what they did was they put like 10 times the amount of radiated seeds that they were supposed to put in a human being. They literally was trying to kill him. And I mean, obviously he's still here, but you know, he's talked about this in a lot of his messages where, you know, most people don't know this, and I don't even want to share it on here, but that's okay. He talked about it, you know, but this part he don't even have no more. They really burnt his stomach up.
What do you mean you don't have it? Like,
it's not there.
What is it?
I mean, I don't know exactly, but I know that it's not there.
Wow.
But, you know, I remember him talking about it. He said when he was on his deathbed, you know, he was not angry or anything like that. You know, he said, why not me? You know, why not me go through this? You know, Jesus went through it. Why not me? You know, so he in his mind, he's like, man, if it's your will, Allah or God, then it's my will too. So be it. And so, you know, obviously Allah, you know, allowed him to get through that, you know, but they definitely tried to kill him.
Have you met him? Have you been around him?
I have been around the minister, yes.
Yeah.
I haven't met him personally. I've been on posts on his door a lot.
What is it? What type of energy like do you feel when you're around that? I know it's something like very strong and spiritual and like kind of like almost like it's unreal.
It is. It is, man. It's almost like this man reading your thoughts, to be honest with you. And man, the minister is he's a fun person to be around. Like the stories I heard, man, he's a tireless worker, man. He's always giving knowledge, man. He's always teaching, but he's funny, though. Bro, minister is hilarious. I mean, you name it. Like, you be surprised who has come to visit him at his home. Eminem, Rick Ross, Kendrick Lamar, who else? You'd be surprised how many white people come to the minister to seek advice and seek counsel. Man, you name them, man, down the list, all of them. You name somebody, I can probably be like, yeah, yep.
What's up, man? What is the difference between the nation and being Muslim?
So let me say this. So a lot of people think that Islam started with Prophet Muhammad, when that's not correct. Islam started with God himself. Like, you look at the trees, you look at the sun, you look at the the moon. You know, all of those things are in submission to Allah, to God. So it didn't start with Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad perfected Islam as a religion. Not that it is a religion, but he perfected it as a religion to help humanity realign themselves back into their own nature. See, trees have a nature and they're in submission. You see how they ain't bothering nobody, they ain't hurting nobody. They doing what they were created to do in their nature. And so the sun is right there. It's doing its thing. You know the sun gonna be there. It's doing its thing. It's in submission. So it's at peace. And so Islam means peace. And so the only, people who are not at peace, the only creation that's not at peace right now is the human being. We have fallen away from our own nature. And so, drink some of this water. So,
what do you think our nature is?
God's. To be like God, be at peace, create.
So you said we've fallen away from that.
We have fallen away from that. We live in a world where the current rulers of this earth is ruling, and you obviously see they're not ruling well. I mean, you just look at America. You know, this civilization only been here for 600 some years, and it's already falling. You know, you got Egypt. You know, them civilizations was lasting longer than this, but that's because the foundation and from the inception of which it was built is causing it to have a end date. Like, so, you know, it's like leaving the milk out. Like, you didn't properly set it up. You didn't properly handle it. So it's spoiling. You know, it wasn't rooted in truth. It was rooted in bloodshed and murder. And now they trying to fix it on top of it. And the foundation is already shaky. It's not rooted in truth. It's not rooted in peace. So it's not going to last. And so, you asked me, like, what's the difference between, Islam in the East and Islam in the West? See, we believe that God came to us, the lost found, people of God.
Came to us as the nation, or came to
the Western Hemisphere, the people in the Western Hemisphere, specifically us. Like, if you read the Bible where God is talking to Abraham, he said, your seed will be enslaved to a people in a nation that not their own. They can't speak their own language. That literally happened to a people. Nowhere in the world where you got black people that's displaced, taken from where they once were. Not to say that we weren't inhabitants here, because we were habitating the West already. But they brought up people to the West, and Europeans came, took our language, stripped us. We couldn't read for 300 years. So you got people who are grown, 50, 60, not able to read. If you read, you was killed. So Islam in the East couldn't come save us. It had to be a specialized teaching that could raise us. The mentally dead people in the West. I'm talking about the Western Hemisphere. I'm talking, where you from? You from Haiti?
No, my people from Haiti.
From Haiti. See, your people from Haiti. See, they didn't speak French.
Right.
Nah. See, all our stuff was stripped from us. They made us lower than the animals. And so we needed a teaching that could raise us up, a wake-up message. And so it was a specialized teaching that could wake us up. A lion got to wake up a lion, And so Master Muhammad taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 3.5 years. And, you know, after those 3 years, he left him, and Honorable Elijah Muhammad took that. A man who only went to the 3rd grade of school, I believe. 3rd grade of school, teaching us how to eat to live, what foods to eat, how fast thought travel, 24 billion miles per second, how far the earth is, how far the sun is from the earth. You know, how much the earth weighs, 6 trillion tons, followed by 21 ciphers or 21 zeros. With the circumference of the earth, 24,896 miles in circumference, diameter, 7,926 miles. These are things that a 3rd grader is teaching us. So he's teaching us about ourselves. We live on this planet. The earth belongs to the righteous, not to some religion, not to some Islam or quote unquote Islam or Christianity or Judaism. No, the earth belongs to the righteous. And so these religions are designed to guide us and realign us back into, you know, our way of being, our nature. And you know, obviously in all religions, you got those who are corrupt because men and women are in them. We have to be raised to a certain degree to where, you know, it's a purity in what we speaking.
You said how to how to eat to live. That's the name of the book?
Yeah.
Is that based around being Muslim? Or is that just, who wrote that?
Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
19.
Can you explain how to eat to live?
So the Honorable,
because some people are living to eat.
Right. Yeah. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that we should eat 1 meal a day. And a lot of people might look at that like, what? 1 meal a day? I can't eat 1 meal a day. But you actually can. You know, you just nutritionally deficient. You've been eating Pop-Tarts and, you know, drinking Gatorades and just eating all this plastic food that really has no nutritional value, so you always hungry.
Yeah.
But when you eat the right foods, he taught us to eat the right foods at the right time. He taught us what food to eat, what foods not to eat, you know.
What foods not to eat? Tell me.
Scavengers, pork, you know, even the Bible tells us and the Quran tells us not to eat pork, but that's actually the only thing that's forbidden for us to eat. But yeah, scavengers. He said we could eat
like shrimp, or
shrimp, crawfish. You know, bottom feeders.
Never.
Nah, you're not supposed to. It's not good for your body. But you know, he taught us that, you know, your stomach is like an engine,
right.
And the more you run the engine, then it wears itself out. All food has bacteria in it. All food, and when you're eating too many times per day and too often, you never get your body the ability to actually get rid of these toxins and bacteria out of your body. And so you start seeing it in your bones and your skin and your face. You start going gray early, all these different things. Like, so he taught us that we can eat all fruit, but we can't eat all vegetables. He taught us that we shouldn't even eat too many raw vegetables or fruits. Like, I juice, right? You juice. But you can't drink too much fruit juice. Why? Because it doesn't allow your body to actually process it right. If you, like, I had a homegirl who was raw vegan, and she had to change her diet because she was iron deficient and her body wasn't processing food right anymore. So she had to go to vegetarian and start more cooked food. But he taught us that you shouldn't eat too many raw foods. You should cook your vegetables and cook your cook your vegetables.
What vegetables we can't eat?
Kale is actually one of them.
Kale is man-made or something like?
Nah, see, Dr. Sebi go deep into all that. I'm not sure, but and actually, Dr. Sebi he sat at the table with Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and that's where he got his start.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was in the nation.
Was?
Yes.
And stopped.
Yeah.
I need to look that up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what time of the day should y'all be eating? Should we? 4
or 6 p.m. between those 2 hours.
I thought you're supposed to eat at when the sun is at the highest, like at noon. That's when you're supposed to break fast. No. They
eat 1 meal a day. So if you eat 1 meal a day, it's 24 hours from the last time you ate. But the best time to eat is between 4 and 6 p.m. According to Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
And what are you eating?
Right now I'm actually fasting. I just actually came off a 3-day fast. I ate yesterday, but I'm actually fasting today, just all juices. Yep. So juice, coffee. But for the most part, man, I don't cook no meat in the house.
No meat.
Nah, no meat. I do eat meat though.
But you don't cook it?
I like me a good little wagyu.
So you say you don't cook it in the house. Why not? Why? What's the reason behind that?
Just to kind of stay off meat. I'm trying, I honestly really want to get off meat completely because meat is just not for the body anyways. You know, this body's not designed to be eating meat. You don't live a long life eating meat. You know, he actually taught us to eat. If you ate one meal every other day, you would not get sick.
Every other day?
Every other day.
Now I do Ramadan every year. While I was in prison, man, I met a bunch of brothers, man. I never converted, but we was close, man. And I decided to do Ramadan and fast. And the first year was like the hard. I didn't even think I made it through the first year. I just kind of like, after like 2 weeks, I was like, bro, I can't do it. It was just hard. But I was like, you know what? Next year, I'm determined.
It's a process.
I'm gonna make it. So this is like my 5th, I think either 5th or going on my 6th year Ramadan. What does what does fasting do for you?
Man, fasting.
And why is fasting so important?
Man, so
who that? Oh, Alex, what's up? You wanna go buy something? You wanna go upstairs? Nigga, go ahead. What's up? How you doing?
What's happening, Chief?
Ain't shit, chilling, man. Okay, yeah. So, why is fasting so important?
Man, fasting prolongs your life. It keeps you here longer. Nowadays scientists are saying that they call it intermittent fasting, right? Yeah. But basically they say like your body heals itself. Your body is designed to actually cure itself and heal itself of ailments. Food is designed to actually be your medicine, right? And you know, for me, it's like if you really think about it, your body only needs nutrients. You know, but you know, for me, fasting, you know, gives me clarity. It keeps me looking younger. It keeps my brain, you know, moving fast. You know, when I don't eat, you know, I get more spiritual, more creative.
I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah.
It's something about when you fast, like it's just something that just get activated. It's something that like a power just turn on, like, okay, I got extra strength. You would think that I would get weaker because I ain't got no food. Right. This is what the average human thinks, like, nah, well, fasting, bro, I need food. You actually really don't need food. I try to eat less as possible right now, like, and I be trying to watch my weight because, like, when you don't eat, like, I do the 1 meal a day, but then I find myself losing weight. You know what I mean? Then I was like, all right, let me beef up real quick, and then, so like, I understand the process. I understand like the concept of just less food as possible, and no meat. I'm definitely not. I'm done with meat. The only time I'm gonna eat meat, because I did have a situation when I was in Haiti, and we bought a chicken off the side of the road. It was live, and they went back and prepared it. And when they came back and with the meal, and when I ate the chicken, it was chicken I never felt before. I say felt because the chicken kind of fed my soul, and I kind of felt the I don't know. I felt the soul, the life of the chicken, like feeding me. You know what I'm saying? It was just different. I was like, yo, I'll never eat chicken again in America. It was just too different. And when you look at chicken wings, it's like this big. Like, what chicken's looking like this?
I don't mess with the wings. They be thick.
Man,
like,
come on, man. Like, the shit from not J.R. Crook is like, I don't want to shout out to Rick Ross, Wingstop. Like, them big, like, man. Like, but what I get
doing
from,
over there, Ross? Nah.
What I get from you, though, like, discipline.
Yeah,
and,
strive to.
You know, like, it stems from the religion, but it also carries on to other areas of your life. Like, I think that with what you got going on with the CreditFixrr, like, that took a lot of discipline, bro. Because you can get distracted, and you know, like, that idea could have just been an idea I had like a couple years ago, and I never acted on it. But you have a lot of discipline, bro.
I got quite a bit of discipline, man. I'm striving in different areas, right? Yeah. Like in this area, I'm very disciplined. You know,
and like, work or religion, which one?
Oh yeah,
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's a lot of opportunities out here, like, but I had to stay in my lane, stay laser focused, like, in order to, you know, build this thing, because like, it's people that got different, you know, Amazon, you know, had Amazon stores and stuff like that. A lot of that came up along the process to where it was like, damn, I can make a bag doing that because I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to like software, internet, and all that. But I'm just like, nah, let me stay here.
Yeah,
that takes a lot of focus, man. And you know, a lot of people can get tricked off they mission by jumping and jumping and jumping. Nah, you got to learn your peaks and valleys, your summer, winter, spring, fall, so you don't fall off. You know, you know.
Let's break this misconception. The misconception is that Muslims can have multiple wives, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. I'm breaking it down to the people.
So in the Quran, it says that you can have up to 4 wives.
4.
But
damn.
But
had to been a but.
One is better for you if you but knew.
Excuse me?
The Quran says you can have up to 4, but one is better. Like they letting you know it was prescribed that you can have up to 4, but one is better. Because you know when it comes to women, man, I was taught that men are the maintainers of women. Meaning like you maintain a woman, not that you know she don't have her own, she can't have her own job and stuff like that, but no, it's on you to maintain her. You know, nails, hair, like that's on you. A security, home, you know, bills, you know, and you know that's really on us. But if you got to do that for 4 women, most men can't do that. Most men don't even have the pockets to even maintain one, let alone 4. So a lot of people they so focused on, and a lot of it is focused on sex. Everybody just trying to have multiple women so that they can have multiple babies, and bro. That's not wise. That's not a very wise thing to do, you know. And you can't make all the women happy. Somebody gonna be happy. You just don't have enough of you around to even do that. Don't play yourself out here. I'm saying don't play yourself, you know. And I'll say this just to kind of give it some context, you know. The reason why that was even prescribed, notice I'm saying prescribed, because in the Quran at that time, in the time when that was happening, the men had went off to war and most of the men died in the battle, right? And so now you got a surplus of women. You got, what do you call it when a woman is, widows. You got all these widows and children and stuff. So Prophet Muhammad prescribed, like, you can have up to 4. And a lot of these men was just taking care of these women, not even, sexing them down and all that, because that's my man's wife. And that's his children. I need to be there, to support them and be in their life. So a lot of that's why it was prescribed in the Quran. But nowadays most men take that on and they don't really understand like what they doing, because you really can mess a lot of women up like that. You mess up a lot of families because you're not there. You can't even provide the time for the children. You putting too much stress on one side.
Now, how many wives you gonna have?
I'm gonna stick to my one.
Does it say at what type of man you have to be, what you have to do to have these 4 wives, or it just you automatically, does it have rules in place?
Yeah, I never got too deep into that, because that was never like my mission to have multiple wives. Like that was never my mission. And but one thing I always knew was I wanted to. So I got a lot of female cousins, and I always like said to them, like, one day I'm gonna take care of y'all. Not that I'm gonna be sleeping with them, nothing like that, obviously. But I always had that ambition, because some of them are single mothers now. And it's like, man, these suckers, you had babies with these suckers, and they ain't even maintaining you. They ain't doing this type of stuff, and these children are suffering. And so like I always wanted to be in the position to where like, yo, y'all need something, I got you. And I'm finally getting to that space, in my life to where like I can like, support my family and stuff like that. But to your question, like I'm sticking with one, man. Was that the question? Who was
Shit, I don't know.
Shit.
I asked you how many you was gonna get.
Oh, how many was I gonna get? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I'm gonna say this. I did. Nah, I ain't finna go there.
Let's hear it, buddy. What happened? What?
Nah, man. Damn, my wife gonna kill me. But you know, she always wanted me to be 1,000. But man, you know, I've been married for 10 years, and you know, it was a time like me and my wife were separated, and man, I actually called myself, you know, trying to marry another woman while we were separated, and and the thing about it, the woman wanted me, the other one. This is why I know that one is better if you but knew. Like my wife, she's so dope, man. She held me down, but you know, it was just it's a point we were in our marriage. But she, girl, I told her, I was like, man, I'm gonna always take care of this woman. She birthed my children, and whatever she needs, she always gonna get. And but the other woman wanted me to completely leave her, and like she like, you a king, like she said all the right shit, right? But I was like, nah, like, and she just couldn't handle not being number one.
Number one.
And so these are the things that some men face. So I just, you know, told her like, man, we just gonna have to dead that. And because my wife was hot at the time, obviously. She was like, you didn't have this conversation with me, even though we separated and all this type of stuff, you know.
Do you have to have the conversation? Do the wife have to
You
agree?
should. You should. Yeah, man. I mean, see, people take this religion stuff and they forget humanity. Like a lot of people forget that these people, like women have feelings just like you. They read the Quran just like you. See, and this is what I'm saying about like the East, the teachers in the East, that's a cultural thing. Like you got Muslims all over the world. You got Muslims.
East, you mean like Africa?
I'm talking about the Arab Muslims who profess like Islam started with them. And no disrespect to
West is more Americanized.
Yeah, it's a totally different culture. Like obviously we got Muslims in the East and the West all over the world, but you got to understand religion and culture. You know, like some cultures in Islam, they practice Sharia law. Like you get your hand cut off. Like
to this day.
That's the law.
Wow.
We gonna cut your hand off. You steal again, we gonna cut your leg off. And then you still, yeah, just.
As long as you don't cut my penis off, man, we is good to go, dog.
But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, you can't take humanity out of religion. You can't just follow law all the time. And that's why Jesus came when he came, they were saying you breaking the laws of Moses, because he was given, like they was throwing stones. He was like the first person who didn't sin cast first. So he was like, because a woman had committed adultery, but he was giving her grace and mercy. They didn't know that. They only knew the law of Moses, which was like the law, like boom, you do this, you got to do that. So when Jesus came, they was mad at Jesus because he was coming with a different version of like teaching. So I say that to say, you know, like even when it comes with these 4 wives, like in the nation, minister said like, he better not catch none of us with multiple wives. We don't practice that. We don't practice that way.
But it's written.
It is written.
But why would he say that?
See, when you raising up a people and the people have not reached a certain degree of understanding, then you can corrupt yourself because you do things out of season. You do things out of understanding. Like the Quran is not wrong. But when you understand the history of the Quran, why it was prescribed, but it also tells you like one is better if you but knew. It's not saying that it is lawful for you to have multiple wives. It's lawful in Islam. You can, but the minister told us, the believers, you can if you want to, but he's telling us like, hey, we're not practicing that because where we're at, we're not ready for that. Most of us aren't. And in this nation that he has raised us up, like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So I want to make this clear. This ain't no, what do you call them things where it's like, what you say go? What them? But you know what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? But so this ain't that. You know, it's so many things that he said that, you know, I didn't do, you know. But when I did it, I saw like, damn, you know, I should have took that guidance, that wisdom that he taught us, and, you know,
Farrakhan has a lot of children.
He does.
How many wives?
He has multiple wives. It sounds like oxymoron, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Elijah Muhammad had multiple wives. Yeah.
Okay, I see why. I think I understand why. It's because their level of understanding, they're at a different level, I guess, maybe, and they feel like they can do that, I guess. So, I mean, I can't speak on his, you know, because I'm not him, but, you know, it's hard for me to even speak on another man's, you know, situation, and I strive not to do that, but he does have multiple wives. You know, I don't know how many, you know, he never wanted to. He said he never wanted to have multiple wives. His wife wasn't happy about that. But he had to take on wives. He was, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him to go as you see me go. And he didn't want to take, like I said, he didn't want to take on wives. He's been married to his wife for I don't know how many long, but they grew up together. And so, you know, some of his children I know. I actually know quite a few of them. Yeah. Your age?
My age, some younger.
How many children you got?
I don't know.
A lot.
I would say he probably got like at least 20.
What's up?
I mean, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be saying that if I don't know, honestly. But yeah, man, you know, it's different spirits in all of them, man. And some of them take on a mission of his and help him with this mission of raising us, Black people in this Western Hemisphere. Well, really, most people got a misconception about the nation. You know, he's teaching all of us. You know, if you really listen to the minister, you'd be surprised how many white, Caucasian Muslims that there are.
You never see them around.
That follow the teachings of the Honorable Ms. Lewis.
Do they be in the crowd? They be there?
Yeah. It's Savior's Day they could come.
That's the only day?
Yeah. That's to the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you mean to the public? Like they're not really...
They not registered Muslims in the Nation of Islam. But we do have believers, literally Caucasian Muslims that follow the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
How you feel about it? Never mind. No.
I feel great about that. See, it's a misconception. See, we think that the Honorable, these teachings taught us to hate Caucasian people. That was never the case. I grew up with these teachings. When I was in college hooping, two of my friends that I still have today, Caucasians. I got my roommates was white. Shout out to my boy Mac out in Oregon. So I used to hoop in Oregon. I played basketball, baseball, and ran track. And before I transferred to Morehouse. But yeah, man. And I talked the same talk that I talked because they understood the wisdom and the truth in which I understood in what I was teaching. They was like, you don't hate white folks. Well, of course not. Why would I? That's so belittling. That's beneath me to give you that much value anyways. Right? There was a girl I dated in high school. She was adopted by two white parents. And when I was dating her, her family was big in the church. I sat with him for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We just chopping it up. I'm talking like talking. And he's just like, wow, you can date my daughter. But we talking about like everything. He asking me questions, that things that he's heard and all of these things. So the media don't want you to know the truth about, the minister. They want to say that he's a hater or whatever they call him, all these different things. But they hate the truth that he teaches. But like I said, man, the truth gonna defend itself. You put a clean glass next to a dirty glass. All you gotta do is just,
choose. It's a great conversation.
Man, I love you, bro.
You could talk all day about this too.
I could, man. We can switch it up though. I've been on it. Religious stuff. I know this controversial.
Real sensitive to some people.
Yeah, it is, man. And forgive me if I misspoke about anything. I'm taught, like, if I make a mistake in public, I got to correct myself in public. So if I did, make a mistake, anything that I said, please forgive me. I trust me, I lead with love. It ain't no hatred, man. It's all love with me.
Do you have any vices?
Vices.
Things like you struggle with. Some people smoke weed and.
Damn, we're gonna get into this, huh? Damn. I think women. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop right there. You say you take shrooms?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Creativity. I just recently actually started, maybe a year ago.
Is that against your religion?
It's not against religion, but I do remember reading in How to Eat to Live that we shouldn't eat no mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you were talking about shrooms, but it is a mushroom, right?
Oh man,
but
I love
I'm keeping 1,000, man.
What's wrong with the mushroom? What they say?
I don't know. I gotta read. I think that's in book 2.
Dang, I love it. I like to eat mushrooms, and man, I love to take mushrooms.
Yeah. But man, none of us perfect, man.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
None of us perfect. Anybody striving to be perfect, even the earth not perfect. The earth not perfectly round. With that globe that they showing us,
it ain't that.
It ain't that. Earth is oblong. It's dips and all these different things.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah. So
we
striving.
I want to ask you that off camera though, because I don't want you to get too deep on that advice. But what you got going? What you got coming up, man?
Man. I'm going on this podcast run.
For what?
Take more exposure. Man, my bro Swift was teaching me about pie. He was talking about 10% of your success is performance. 30% is something else, but I know 60% is exposure. And I spent a lot of my time behind this computer, 5 years just coding. And truthfully, I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I always wanted to just, let the software be it.
Don't you put a face on it?
Yeah, I never want to put a face on it, but, we here now, and now, I'm just showing people not to look at me, though. I'm just showing you that, okay, you see me, but look at yourself, And that's what I'm trying to give off, empowerment. And I want people to get that from me, and I'm hoping that I'm delivering that to people, and I'm giving that shit off,
Word. Do you want to leave these people with any last words? You can look at that camera right there, buddy.
Yeah, man. Anything that you striving to do it. You ain't got to read all these different books. I used to read 4 books a month, right? And I found myself just sitting there hoping that the book was going to give me the energy. Nah, man, you just need to do one thing. Take massive imperfect action. That's it. And stay committed to it. It ain't going to be perfect the whole time, but you're going to learn along the way. So anything that you got in your mind, don't let that thought pass on to somebody else and they concretize it. You take it on, hold that thought, build on that thought, learn your seasons, summer, winter, spring, fall, your dips, whatever you doing, do that, man, do it. And definitely sign up for CreditFixrr. The software is designed to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and resources to empower you and your family. I got a family version where you can add up to 3 family members. And I got the CreditFixrr business. If you are a CRO, credit repair company, you can fix credit for your clients. So I got the best software in the game. I'm the most innovative. Just give me this the beginning, y'all.
Man, you said you honored to be here. I'm really honored to interview you because I could see the future for you, bro. Like,
thank you.
To say that, bro. Hey, I interview, bro, and bro worth them bees, bro. Hey, man. So yeah, I appreciate you coming through, man. I appreciate you believing in me, man.
Yes, sir.
So until we meet again, Rich Unemployed podcast. Are you Rich Unemployed?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, we out.